Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome to my first video of either, or what's probably more better known as, Would You Rather. Now, as I've been mentioning to some of you guys for the past month or so now, I've been thinking about branching out from Let's Plays for a little bit and adding some additional types of content in order to add a little more variety to what you guys can find on my channel. So I thought, maybe to start out with, why not do something simple, fun, trivia related, and easy? And I thought, why not make it Would You Rather? This will be far from the only kind of non-Let's Play content I'll be experimenting with, but I'll be curious to see what you guys think of this kind of content here, whether or not you guys would want to see more of it, or if not that, then maybe you'd want to suggest other things I can try. But I don't want to be a one-trick pony, basically, when it comes to my content creation. And as much fun as I have with Let's Plays, I do think it honestly would be fun here to branch out a little bit, you know? So, what you're looking at here is, well, the results of my first attempt at making an episode of this. Because I already tried to make a first episode of this thing here, but when I got the video done and recorded, turns out that I screwed up the audio codec. I didn't have it set to MP3, so therefore when I exported the video onto a flash drive and previewed it on my gaming desktop, I couldn't hear any audio out of it at all. I'm recording this from my Linux laptop, so yeah, I kind of wanted to keep random little internet browsing games or stuff like this here off my gaming desktop here, because I'm paranoid about getting any viruses on that thing, and I want to make sure that thing is as free from unapproved websites and what have you as possible. And I don't really consider either .io here to be among those, because I wouldn't be surprised if there could be some things on here, especially if you're not using, like, I don't know, Brave browser or some kind of ad blocker or whatnot on here, that could present problems if you run it on, you know, just any other regular internet browsing session or tab or computer without some kind of adequate protection. But yeah, bottom line is, well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, well, the reason why I had issues with the audio codec compared with my first attempt at recording this, rather than, you know, all the other stuff I make until now, is because, well, since I'm not on my gaming desktop and I'm not using NVIDIA's Shadowplay recording software, I'm almost completely out of my element with the software I am currently using to make this video, called Simple Screen Recorder. And, well, my mistake is just simply me learning how to work this thing. But yeah, hopefully this second attempt will go through okay, and I will be able to put up a video for you guys here where you'll actually be able to hear stuff from me. Anyway, what you're looking at here on the screen is my first attempt to make that video. The answers I did question here, or rather which answers I gave. So if by chance I figured that maybe you guys would want to at least see what these questions were for my first attempt at this thing. So that way, if you guys want to know the reasoning behind why I chose one answer or the other here, you can ask me in, like, the comments section or something like that, and I can answer you. Otherwise, if you don't care, then that's fine too. For now, let's just go ahead and get to the main event. Again. So, would you rather stare at the sun for 2 minutes or drink a liter of scalding water? And the water temperature would, and I never noticed this until I started recording my first attempt at this thing, but there is little comments relating to the question right here, like what I got highlighted right here, that adds a little bit of context to the question. So I'll be reading those out too as I'm contemplating my answer. The water temperature would be like an extremely hot coffee. Well, since I don't want to give myself some very nasty internal burns and possibly other kinds of damage, I think I'd rather stare at the sun. I think the damage I get from the sun would be ultimately better off than what I would get from scalding water. So, next question. Oh, and another thing I've tried to do before I start recording this was see if I could get some background music playing here so you guys don't have to listen to just my voice in silence in case, you wanted something fun to listen to while I put out these kind of videos. But unfortunately, I haven't really been able to get background music working with any of the methods I've tried so far. But I am aware that YouTube does offer a little feature where you can put in royalty-free music and other approved songs by the website onto your videos. But the only concern I have about that is, will it override all the audio of the original video, or would it just simply be adding, new audio on top of what's already there, like what I would hope it would do? Because if it's not the latter, I won't bother. I'll try to find some other method on my own spare time. But yeah, for this first episode, I'm afraid you're gonna have to just deal with just my voice. And hopefully that won't be an issue. So, would you rather be deaf and have no legs, or be blind and have no arms? Well, since I use my arms and my eyes for a lot of my hobbies and stuff like that, and there are ways to, adapt to being deaf, like Braille that's for blindness, never mind. I'd rather be deaf and have no legs, because I think I'd have a relatively easier life compared to being blind and having no arms. And 80% of people agree with me. I just don't want to be blind. And just chilling while sitting down for a long period of time is not all that bad. Totally agree with you there. Would you rather give up buttons and zippers, or give up Velcro and knots? I think I'd rather give up buttons and zippers, because at least you can tie things up with Velcro and knots, and any number of things, including clothing. And apparently, most people disagree with me. Velcro and knots? I don't think I've worn anything in Velcro since the 4th grade. Yeah, I guess that's one thing I can consider. Would you rather brutally assault a police officer, or brutally assault a well-known gang member? Why the fuck would you want to brutally assault a police officer? Why? What the hell did they do? At least a gang member, chances are they have committed some kind of crime. Police officer, on the other hand, well, maybe they have too here, but you don't just go around assaulting your law enforcement, Like, I'm surprised 37% people would rather choose that over than 63%. At least you could do your sentence and get it over with. As for a gang, will hold a grudge until you're dead. Maybe so, but I don't think most gangs are likely gonna follow you if you just simply skip town. The law, though, much harder to evade. Just saying. Would you rather be barefoot for the rest of your life, or wear Crocs for the rest of your life? You mean, do I have to wear the Crocs 24/7? I can never take them off. Because if it's that, then obviously I'd rather be barefoot. Because, I need to wash my feet and keep the skin free and able to breathe somehow. But if I can take the Crocs off, and then they're just simply the only kind of shoes I'd rather wear, versus not being able to wear shoes at all, period, obviously I'd rather choose the Crocs, because Even though they're far from my own personal choice of style for shoes, at least I'd have some kind of protection on my feet. So, I'm going to assume that it is a more permanent kind of thing. And so I'll just go barefoot so I can at least, keep my feet free. It's almost pretty close to being evenly split. What if you have to walk over jagged rocks? And I'd rather have cuts on my foot than be gay, you faggot. You're a judgmental fuck. Yeah, I don't think I should get into this thread. That could be trouble for me. At least on YouTube. Would you rather own 10,000 Mr. Potato Heads or 10,000 bobbleheads? As much as Mr. Potato Head and Toy Stories had effect on my childhood, at least with bobbleheads I can get all kinds of different characters. Mr. Potato Head is just, Mr. Potato Head. Maybe the most I could hope for is different fashion senses with all the potato heads, but bobbleheads, they could be anybody. Or anything. Even a xenomorph. If while earning a PhD you were offered a high-paying job, would you rather continue studying PhD or leave school and take the high-paying job? We're talking about like college degrees and shit, right? Well, the thing is, if you pay attention, at least in the United States, if you pay attention, it looks to me like college degrees... No, wait, PhD is for medical shit. It's not for general college things. What am I... Right. Well, I guess it depends on how much the pay is compared to what kind of pay I would get if I continued my education and got the PhD. Would the high-paying job pay more than the job I would get if I finished my education and got the PhD? If so, then I would rather just take the high-paying job because, it's more money in my pocket. But if it's better for me to get the PhD, then obviously I would go with that here, because even though it would just result in a higher paying job than would the alternative. But then again, I just thought of this. There is also student debt. And since that is a huge fucking problem in American colleges these days, I think I'd rather take the high-paying job, and earn a comfortable living wage. Maybe be able to save up for stuff, maybe be able to afford my hobbies or things like that, rather than having an even higher paying job and probably have to deal with tons and tons of debt for the rest of my life. So yeah, I think I'll take the high paying job. Damn, I didn't think I'd be in that much of the majority. Oh, I forgot to read this thing. Basically, earn a degree in hopes of a better job and a sense of accomplishment, or take the high-paying job and quit the PhD program. So, yeah, nothing. It didn't add any context I really needed. You would just complete it later. You can't quit a PhD. True. You could just take the high-paying job and then save up and continue your education later and then pay that off bit by bit. I guess that's also an option. Would you rather be known for something good, e.g. being a really wise person, or be unknown for something great, e.g. curing cancer? Well, I think I'd rather be unknown for something great here, because, as long as you're willing to stick to a bunch of textbooks and educate yourself and shit here, and just, follow common sense, as rare as that is these days, and just learn from your mistakes, from other people's mistakes. Anybody could be wise eventually if they tried hard enough. But getting the cure to cancer, that would take some great effort, some great ingenuity, and a whole host of other things. And it would have a much bigger impact on humanity as a whole. So I'd rather be unknown and just do that. 69% of people agree with me. As long as I know I cured cancer. Exactly. I could be fine with being unknown as long as I did something like that for the greater good, you know? Would you rather be Iron Man, but have to leave the suit on at all times? How would I go to the bathroom? Or be the Hulk, but I had to stay in Hulk form at all times? At least if Hulk, I can go to the bathroom. Oh wait, I forgot to read this. Iron Man can open his faceplate and Hulk is sane, not full of rage while in Hulk form. Still sounds to me like I can't go to the bathroom, so I still go with Hulk. Would you rather know everything in your partner's past, or know nothing from your partner's past? Even the stuff you probably wouldn't want to know, and you would get no information from anyone about their past. Well, when given the choice between these two extremes here, if I can't find an in-between, because I mean, I don't need to know absolutely everything about my partner's past here, and it's not like they could probably even remember everything themselves anyway, so it's not like they could even tell me even if they wanted to. So, yeah. I mean, we all gotta have our secrets, right? I mean, otherwise, if everybody's secrets was all out in the open here, I imagine there'd be serious pandemonium in the streets. But I guess that's a discussion for another topic. But yeah, with one choice or the other, I guess I'd rather know everything, because then I would just have to hope here that whatever I learned wouldn't be enough to. Yeah, it would all depend on me and how I would react to the information from there on out. So, yeah. I know about your condition, Grace. LOL. Next up, would you rather be a character in your favorite game or be a member of your favorite band? I'd rather be a character in my favorite game because I have... that would make me a girl then, because my favorite game is Super Metroid and Samus is a female. I would have to go through a gender change. It would totally be worth it. 71% of people agree. I live in the age of the gamer. Would you rather be married to a morbidly obese and ugly person who is incredibly wealthy? No, because I'd be very worried about their health, for starters. Or be married to a gorgeous person who is on welfare. So, status. So, financial status is the only thing. Financial status and weight and health is the only thing separating them. I guess I would go with the person who is gorgeous, who is on welfare, because then I wouldn't have to worry all that. I wouldn't have to worry as much for their health than with the alternative. And just because they're on welfare doesn't mean they have to stay that way for the rest of their lives. You know, I mean, as long as you're willing to work within the system, and as long as the system itself gives you enough opportunities to do so, I do think you can work to better your living conditions. Oh, and the sex and personalities are equal. So, yeah, I want them to be I want them to be healthy. 78% of people would agree. Oh, and I guess, I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, I have my preferences for physical appearances and looks and stuff like that. And if they're gorgeous to me, obviously, I would like to have a person whose personality I like first and foremost. To me, that's the most important thing here, other than looks. And if they happen to be gorgeous on top of that too, at least by my definition, then more power to me, you know? But again, for me, when it comes to this question, the biggest concern I have is how healthy they are now in the present, and what their health is going to be like in the not too distant future. So, looking at it like that, to me, it's a no-brainer. If your parents had to give you one punishment, would you rather live without your phone or live without your computer, iPod, and clean clothes? To me, that's also somewhat of a dumb question. I mean, yeah, living with a phone could be an issue when it comes to communication and whatnot, with friends or even family. But at least with computer, you can communicate through other means here, from webcamming, chats, and well, I love listening to music while I'm out and about. So even though I never owned an iPod, just a regular old MP3 player, or my smartphone, which has MP3 functionality on there. And obviously, I care about hygiene. Like a lot, like good hygiene, clean hygiene. And living without clean clothes would be hell for me, so I'm sorry. The phone, there are other ways I can communicate with people without a phone, and I want to have my music and clean clothes. So goodbye phone. I'm glad 85% of people care about good hygiene and computers. That really restores my faith in humanity a little. If you was stranded on a desert island, what would you do? Would you rather try to escape by building a boat, or stay there and wish you get found? Well, I guess it's entirely situational. Depending on where you are, and if you can at least figure out where the nearest bit of mainland or inhabited bit of land is, if it's close enough, you could try to escape by building a boat and then just taking the risk and sailing the seas, getting there. Or you could just stay there and wish you get found. But the thing is, here's what I would do in this situation. There could be the assumption that somebody could be looking for me or any survivors if we got stranded somewhere on an island. But I shouldn't automatically assume that they're out there looking for me, or rather they know where to look. So just in case I don't get found before I am able to make some kind of escape craft, whether it be a boat or a raft or what have you, it'd be better and more productive for me to be building a boat, so that way, if rescue doesn't come, by the time I finish it, and if I at least know where to go, I can try to escape on my own, and hopefully get to civilization sooner, rather than staying there and praying that I get lucky and I get found. Because I might not get found. And if I don't and if it doesn't look like I'm gonna get found, I'd rather be doing something here just in case it looks like that's likely to happen. So that way, I at least have a head start on seeking an alternative way to civilization, you know? So I'd rather try to escape by building a boat. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more. Would you rather be deep sea diving and your oxygen tank runs out, or be bungee jumping and have your cord snap? Both of those are fucking horrible. I mean, suffocating. I have a big problem. I have a fear and a big problem with oxygen starvation, choking, and all that stuff. That shit just freaks me out like nothing else. But on the other hand, so too does falling to my death from a great height. Especially if I'm the one literally jumping to it and just having my cord snap. But then again, actually, there could be something beneath me if I'm bungee jumping, just in case something happens that could catch me, soften my fall, so even if I get a grievous bodily injury, I could still survive. Or I could be perfectly fine, depending on the cushioning. So there is possible room for me to survive with the bungee jumpy thing. Whereas if my oxygen tank runs out, if I can't swim up fast enough, or God help me, if there's predators nearby that'll keep me from going up and just pull me deeper, I'd be dead with the oxygen tank. I'd have a greater chance of dying with the oxygen tank than probably the bungee jumping. Maybe. So I'm gonna go bungee jumping. One of these involves a quick death. Yeah, that's another thing. If I'm dead no matter what, I guess it'll be terrifying as I'm falling, but once I hit the ground, I'm done. I don't have to feel anything after that. I'd rather have a quick death rather than a slow, terrifying, and agonizing one. Yeah, fuck it, one more. Would you rather know everything or be the ruler of everything? Well, if I know everything, I could use that knowledge for all kinds of practical applications, whereas if I'm the ruler of everything, well, that'd be far too much responsibility than I'd be willing to put up with. Plus, I don't want to be the ruler of everything. Nobody should be the ruler of anything. I mean everything, excuse me, not anything. I mean, how the hell are you going to govern literally everything unless you're like a literal god? Good fucking luck. Unless you know everything, in which case, well, I could know how to be the ruler of anything anyway, so if I really had megalomaniacal aspirations of that sort, I'd have the knowledge on how to do it. So I'd have the advantage over just the plain ruler of everything. So, yeah. Knowledge is power, double standard. Aye, but what if you become the ruler of everything, thus implying that you know everything since you rule in the first place? But if you know everything, you can make tons of OP weapons and rule everything. Yes, but let's give God the know-it-all, and you were like his minion? Knowledge corrupts. No, it just makes you crazy. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this first episode of Either here. I hope you guys enjoyed this short, fun, and a little different episode from what I usually make. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And again, if you want to see more, also if you want to share some feedback with me, whether or not you really do want to see more content like Either, or maybe something else entirely, feel free to leave me comments. Just share your feedback with me. Anyway, I will see you all next time. Have a good day. Take care.